Ooh, all right. Hey, good evening, LinkedIn. Dave Wilson, Results Staffing. Great show, a lot of great subjects tonight. I'm just going to warn you, I am not in the mood. So this is going to be a good show. So I promise you, but I'm warning you now. So this way, if you don't want to hire me in the future, right? If you're not going to look at me and say, I'm going to hire this guy, don't watch. Be right back. All right, I think we are live. I hope so. Hey, good evening, everyone. Hey, Tuvia. Hey, Janie. They're already on here. How's everybody going? Still gonna ask that same question, Janie. Did you get that job yet? Come on, say yes. Say yes, you got the job. Hey, Tuvia. Come on. Janie, you're supposed to say, did you get that job yet? Janie is from in Australia. So it's morning time for her. And she always comes up and it's nighttime for us. So I wanted to talk tonight about a couple things that Tuvia is going to really understand this. Job boards. And I felt like because I'm just irritated again over it. I want to just end it. I want to just stop job boards. I don't want to pay for job boards anymore. I don't want to utilize Indeed. I don't want to utilize Career Builder. I don't want to utilize ZipRecruiter. I don't want to utilize them all because all they are is it's a money pit. It is a just direct money pit that you're tossing in there. Hey, Kara. There's Kara. Uh-oh. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Kara, but this is going to be a good conversation for you. I promise. But I'm so mad at the job boards right now because I have 5 jobs posted. All right. Yes. They are. They are, Tuvia. They are working with me. They're boosting the ads. They're promoting the ads. They're doing it for free. Yes. But what they're doing is I got 7 of the resumes today. Listen, if you're in New York, you don't apply for jobs in Eastern Pennsylvania. If you're in California, you don't apply for jobs in Eastern Pennsylvania. If you're in New Jersey and you're 3 hours away from Eastern Pennsylvania, you do not apply for jobs in Eastern Pennsylvania. So how's that, Tuvia? I'm not mad. I'm just, when you look at your emails, you're like, okay, 14 resumes. And nobody is even qualified. And nothing against candidates, nothing. It's not that they're qualified, but they're not even in this area. Why would I pay for companies? No, yeah. Well, okay. For $12 an hour, $13 an hour, unless you're relocating. Right, Brooke, I agree with that. Unless you're relocating. And if you are doing that, don't get me wrong, if you are, but if you're applying for a warehouse job for $13 an hour or $14 an hour, and you're 3 hours away, unless you are moving, I do ask that question. I do reply to all those emails. I reply, do you know that the job is located here? And some of the responses that I get back, now this is just me, some of the responses I get back, I hear is, oh, what job? What job did I apply for? Which one was this? That is what's wrong. People are not, look at the job, right? Research it. And I'm sure Brooke and Kara, we get them from all over. It's a waste. I am sure you understand what I mean. I wish they would. Okay. Tuvia, I knew you would say that because Tuvia is a gentle giant. He's a man that cares a lot about people. All right. I'll give some of them the benefit of the doubt. I'll tell you that. But like Kara even said, it's not that I'm complaining about spending the money. Seriously, you have to pay. You do. And when you get jobs that you put keywords in, you put keywords and you're still getting them. and it just bogs down my mind because I'm like, it takes so much time going all through them. And that's what we're going to talk about with the video resumes. Again, yes. And that's what Brooke's saying right there is when you apply for a job, listen, all of them are great companies. I'm just irritated as hell. You need job boards. You do, somewhat. But read the jobs. If you're listening and you're a candidate, read the job. Read if you match, if you qualify. Now, if you're 30%, the way I look at it nowadays, right now, what's going on, if you got at least 30% to 40% of a matching for it, I'd still apply for it. That's in my opinion. Because as long as you can always learn, listen, when you're in your interview process, you can always explain to the employer, listen, I don't know that, but I'm willing to learn. And I just feel being honest, you need to be honest with that person up front. Listen, I qualify for this, and this, but I don't know this software. You have to sell yourself. Sell yourself to the client. Now, some of the resumes you might not respond to right away. I'm telling you, I don't respond to all of them. I get busy, and that's some of the problem too, because not everybody checks all the resumes. But when you receive before pre-COVID, and I get it, I understand COVID, but I'm freaking tired of hearing about COVID because you still have to work. There's jobs out there right now. There's jobs. But also when I put here, so I reached out to some companies today. I'm not going to call them out. That's not me. All right. But when you say you're hiring, your jobs are on there. And then when you call or you email, oh, we're not hiring. What are you doing then? Take the job off. Listen, have I done it in the past? Yes. I posted a job that I didn't have because I wanted applicants. Make sense? I said it. I did that prior. Not all the time, but it does help you bring the candidate pools in. It brings them in. So this way you can start, but as long as you call, as long as you reach out, like if you put that job up there to get resumes, be honest about it. Because I've told people before, now Brooke, I've told people before that I've posted jobs that I didn't have. Make sense? I posted jobs that I did not have, but I was honest about it. I put on there that they thought I was a little crazy. Go figure that. I posted a job for customer service reps, right? But I explained what the job duties would be. And I was trying to build a pool of candidates. I was trying to say, listen, come apply. Let me skill market. Let us try to find you work. So if I have 15 customer service reps, 15 of them, right? And some of them are still looking for work. Boy, can we go after a company and say, listen, we've noticed that you're hiring customer service reps. We got 15 people. Makes sense? And, it might change here and there, but you can be honest and post a job that you don't have. So, Janie, I know, okay, maybe they're collecting resumes. That is, Tuvia. And have I done that? Yes. I've looked at some great resumes for forklift drivers, professional services, and administrative, medical, HVAC technicians. And then I applied for a job stated in Perth. They rang me. I like how, sorry, Janie, Australia. They rang me and wanted me to start with them ASAP. Then they told me it was on the other side of Australia. And it was a perfect for me and them so frustrated. That's what I mean. So if you're applying for jobs and you're not in your area, if it's even labeled wrong, maybe the job posting's labeled wrong. That's an also. I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt. But my point there is we offer service, and Tuvia came up with some of this idea, and this is what he does, is you can utilize us, results staff, as a job board. Now, you go on our website, forklift drivers, right? $175. Direct hire, forklift. You don't even use a staffing company, or you are a staffing company. Who cares, right? Customer service reps, office personnel, right? $250. Now you say, what does $250 get you? It gets you a person, an employee that we have a lot of candidates. So when we reach out to them, we get all that skill set about them, right? Then we have them and we don't have a job to put them. We don't have a placement. We don't have a company. That's next part of the discussion. And we don't have a company where to place them. So what do you do with them? What do you do with a good candidate that you want to hunt? I got to tell you the story of this. Cha-ching. Tuvia. What Tuvia means by that is we have a little joke about it and about like a job board is when what Tuvia does that he posts jobs and he lowers his price down. He's like a job board. Boom. He'll walk his dog. Cha-ching. That means somebody's posted a job that he wants. Cha-ching. He'll get back in the car. Cha-ching. He's watching TV because Tuvia, he's in Florida, but he staffs for New York. And what he does is he posts the jobs for all these companies and they pay a lower rate. So that's what I took that on. So with 3 other companies, we're providing, say, even picker packing technicians. Great job, right? At a great company. I wish I could say it. That's another discussion. But I would vent them, send them to them. If they hire them, right there. Invoice for there. No guarantee because you're the one that is hiring them on. You're the company that's hiring them on. Now, what do you have to lose for that? I try to think in my mind. I've had 4 companies, Tuvia. 4 companies that have taken that on. And it's working. $75. Listen, the person calls in. What are you looking for? Okay. All right, let me see. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your background. Okay. You know what? I explain to them the jobs that we might have, and I sell the job, not the hourly rate right off the bat. I don't just come out and say, pays $18 an hour or $25. I don't do that. I don't want them because if you say right off the bat, if you sit there and tell a candidate, right? Now, hear me out on this. So you're getting a call. Listen, we have this great job for you. All right. It's over Coca-Cola and Pepsi, let's just say. We're in need of an electrician, or let's just say for that, we offer all this. This is what we have to offer you. This is what the job entails. Get their attention. Have them read it because you're waiting to see how much it is. You're like, wow, it's in my area. Wow, look at this. I'm close, right? The shift is perfect. Then you get down, and then that's where you would put the job rate. And we have some comments there. And Tuvia, we should make that the standard in recruiting. And Tuvia, the issue with that is everybody's still stuck in 1980. They're still stuck in 1990. They're still stuck in 2020 from last year. If you haven't learned from this year or last year what you should be doing, you're going to struggle. That's all I got to tell you. You are going to struggle if you haven't learned from this year. If you're not prepared now for round 2, you are going to struggle. Both. The staffing companies, I sound like I'm frustrated because I am. But you are going to struggle. Same with the candidate pool. Same with everybody's going to struggle because of this. Because the standard of recruiting is, do you really believe when you say a recruiter, and let me get to Carrie here. Carrie, yes, sell the job first. 100% agree. Because Carrie, what I like when you said about that is that's what I feel because listen, money's not everything right now. $2, $3, $5 an hour difference is not much for a job right now because of with everything going on, because of being kids, single parents. They'd be willing to take a job if it's 7 to 3, right? 7 to 3. Wow. Can you imagine? So you could sell that job easy, 7 to 3. Because if the other significant other works a different shift, you can work that out. But it doesn't work like that, So don't always assume that it's the hourly rate because you might be able to say we offer Blue Cross. I said it last night. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna. They're all great companies. Listen, they pay the bills, but you might offer different. This new PTO thing that's unlimited time off. It doesn't work, but that's another story. That's for tech companies, but unlimited time off, great vacation. Some companies right now are giving you 2 to 3 weeks vacation to start. That is incredible. 2 to 3 weeks to start, versus staying with a company for 10 years to get 3 weeks, so that I agree with 100% agree, and, Janie, thanks. You agree there. Hey, look who it is. I was on his show today. the amazing Clark Kent. I call him Clark Kent, but that's Stephen Farrell of Utah Jobs. And let me tell you, Steve's in Utah. I still haven't figured where the hell that is on the map. Utah. I don't even think they have a football team, but that's another subject. But what I wanted to talk about, what we talked about earlier, is selling the job. And that's what we've been talking about, Steve. We were trying to talk about that. So that's my frustration with job boards. I've vented a lot with that. But do your research. Look at the job. Don't just push apply. Because when you do that, it just bogs the good people down. Not say the good people, I shouldn't say it like that. But the qualified people, those resumes will get there first. And that's why I like the video screening, talent assessment, the video resumes. I know I beat myself in the head over it, and I wish candidates would take advantage of it. I really do. I have been pushing it for the whole year. The reason I like it so much, and it's on my website because it's a one-click, Kara, you can look at that, resultsnap.com, right? Look how easy it is when you just click for the job, right? Apply. All you're doing is uploading your resume, your first name, your last name, and your cell number. That's it. That's all you have to do for the jobs. Click. Done. I get the alert. I send you a text. Hey, Kara, guess what? I got your text for the job. I'll be reaching out to you. You do it personally. You don't just send it out. You have to type it, but it already puts your number in there for you for the text. So now you can say, hey, listen, I'm going to reach out to you, send you stuff for a video screen. I know the most excuses that I get from it is I don't like a video. I hear you. I don't like this friggin' video either. I don't like looking at this little dot up here all the time. It's live. You don't know what you're going to say. But with a video screening, we give you 10 retakes. 10. So you could say to yourself, well, if I screw it up, I'll let you do it again. Well, my 10 times didn't work out. I didn't like it. I'll give you 10 more. Show your personal side. Show one of the questions. Could be, tell us something else different on your resume that we wouldn't know that you do that's not on your resume. I'm sorry. Say you might have a hobby or somebody does a lot for volunteer work. Be proud of that. Nobody listen, I'm not going to say nobody, but the majority, when you get a job resume, I mean, you skim through it real quick. You're like, okay, you don't take that time as much. And that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong on some of them, but it's a real fast and in high volume. It's like next, let me see. No, yes, it's like that. But with video screening, when it comes to you as a non-PDF and you're not a piece of paper, I'm hoping I can get more people to do that this year. I really am, because let's see what Janie. I had a Zoom conference to work on the state election this March. Don't know what the hourly rate, but still gave them my tax file number, bank account, super fun. I guess I have got it. Great. So you had a Zoom conference to work. That's awesome. There's no difference from you doing the Zoom call right now or we doing an interview right now, because I'd be like, Janie, please tell me about yourself. Okay, tell me about your work history. Let's talk. We could go back and forth on video, right? So I'm sitting here right now taking 5, 10, 15 minutes with Janie with a video screening, telling her the questions, coaching her, having to tell her how everybody knows on an interview, dress the part, put your background on, nice background, right? Sell yourself. I'm 54. I don't care if I say it or not. I'm 54, right? But when you're trying to create jobs, as you're getting older, listen, everybody says about job discrimination. It's out there. Bias, unconscious bias, it's out there. Everything is. But I've learned you have to sell yourself. Like right now, I'm on video. Do you trust me? Can you take and watch my shows and can you say, yes, I trust Dave? Why? Why? Why do you trust me? Why do you, when you watch Steve or when we've interviewed Tuvia and Kara, I want to get you on the show. And why? Why do you think you like that person or trust that person? Because I think you can tell if I'm full of it. I think you can tell if I'm telling you a fake story or not. Listen, I might maybe tell a little bit white lies, just a little, Steve, but you get my point. You have some people that they don't give you the time of the day. You can tell when you go into an interview. You usually can tell within the first 2 minutes. how it's going to go. Because Lord forbid if you say the first wrong thing because you're nervous in the beginning, you know, but we've all been there. We've all been there when we've interviewed people. Majority, everybody on this page here has interviewed candidates before. You've been through an interview and you've interviewed. So practice it a little bit. But with the video screening, you know, you can really tell everybody, like, let's just take a market manager or project management, Janie. Oh, thanks. I like that. Kara, also a lot easier to gauge the applicant's potential when speaking one-on-one from the start. Right. And what happens is, what I like about the video screening, Kara, is if you told me you needed 2 customer service reps and I sent you right now, I could send you 8 live people. Kara, as the recruiter, you'd be looking at, wow, I like, because the resume comes with it and any kind of test that you want, right? Wow, I like this person. So you call them in. You call us. We say, okay, we send them. You kind of know that person a little bit already because you've already seen them on screen. You've already seen some of the questions that you're going to ask, right? Watch the difference of somebody. Look at the smile, because when you get a person that does that screening and you can get them to them, the chances are that they're going to at least have a great interview. Listen, just because you interview well doesn't mean you're going to get the job, right? We all know that. I mean, but because I talk to a lot of candidates, how do you, like Janie, I've asked you, how do you think you've done? I've done great. I've done a great job. You know, I felt it was really well. I think I'm going to get it. And that's what I don't like, is you think you're going to get it and then you don't get a response. You don't get a response at all. And that's what's frustrating for even some of the candidates. A lot of the recruiters, and listen, I've been there myself. I'm not no, thanks, Janie. But I am not no angel when it comes to saying that I haven't done that. You know, I miss a lot of people that I don't get back with. I really do, because I either forget or I got a lot going on. But if I really wanted a job, there's a difference in 2021 now. I'm not going to give you all that. Let's make oh God, what do you want to call it? All your, geez, I forget it already. Look at that. All your goals for 2021, all your, things. Well, I'm going to do this different. I'm going to do this different. Well, what are you going to do different to find a job? What are you going to do? Bob's not on here right now, but Bob posts his his resume on LinkedIn and has been tagging people, all the companies around. So hopefully when you're on LinkedIn and you get alerts like it would be Kara, you have somebody that mentioned you. And if Kara was hiring somebody, Kara would see Bob's resume. Oh, wow, veteran. Okay. You wouldn't start out. Listen, be proud of the veteran being a veteran, because Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines, our whole family. You can't beat that. But that's just our backgrounds. But start out something that would sell you well. If you're a veteran, if you get those key words that's going to make you stand out. So Kara would say, Dave, I like this person. And think about it. You would call back and say, I think we're going to offer the position. We're going to offer, say, 40, 50, 60,000. We go back, we negotiate it for you, and you get the job. But look what Kara only did. Kara just said to Dave, hey, I need 6 to 7 people. And I sent you 15 live people. Look at the time saving on job boards. Look at the time difference from sitting and going through resume after resume, because I am sure, Kara, that I keep saying Kara and all that, but I am sure that and even Steve and even everybody on here that knows that, all right, you missed these people here, but you want to bring this one in, and you just know. Oh, bless Bob. Yes. And Janie, you're right. He's being so brave. He's putting himself out there. He tells people, he's been posting on LinkedIn just quotes. He never would have done that before. But he's been taught, he's been trained. We talk about it. He does it. And I am hoping so much that somebody on LinkedIn sees that and hires him, because then he can tell a story, because that's the best part about it. If you can tell a story that it was successful, you're the winner. You win, right? You win. And that brings me back to one more subject. Almost there. Tuvia, almost there. All right. Do you work for free? Question. Do you work for free? If you're in staffing, okay, and you're a recruiter, you're a branch manager, and you're working for a company, you're getting a paycheck, you're working, some days you don't feel well, some days you can sit back, you don't say this, but you're getting a check. Okay. Now reverse it. It's your company, you own that staffing company. Kara, Janie, and even, who was that young lady? I just saw her before, and Steve, and hold on, Brooke. If you owned the company, you owned it, what would you do different? If anyone out there is right now a hiring manager for a client or company right now, not the candidates, this is for a company, for corporations. If you're the hiring manager and I told you, if I looked and I told you, we talked, we met, and I would tell you the truth, you want 10 people, then I say no. I'm going to get you 2 to 3 good ones. I will get you 10, but I'm going to get you 2 to 3 to start. Unless you tell me you want bodies. You want bodies, I'll send you bodies. But you're going to tell me that. So think about, if it was your company and you're the hiring manager, they don't have any say in it. They don't have a say in all of the hiring process. I mean, they hire the people, but they are stressed out. Human resources, all of them, they're all stressed out. Because I guarantee you, if I was to pull them aside and say, hey, do you think you should go with another staffing company? It's not even really just about doing that. They'd be like, oh, hell yes. Or because we don't hear from them, or they don't do this, or they don't do that. Well, if I said to you off record and said, hey, would you, you're at a 38% markup, would you go up to a 44% markup, knowing that little bit of extra money there, a little bit, that you're going to be stress-free? What would you say? I think you'd say yes, but you can't, because you're going to say, well, corporate's telling us. Corporate's telling us this is the highest we can go. And this is where I just want to look and be honest with somebody. If there's a CEO watching it there, if there's a VP, when you look at a 38% markup versus a 44% to 45, or even a 50, do the math. Look at the math, look how it's going, because I see the jobs, the 6,000 jobs now. I think there's 6,000 jobs out here. I see the 6,000. I know, I can imagine, you can all do math. You can imagine what that costs being short-staffed, but you're only paying a 38%. But do you work for free? Think about that. If you own the company, do you work for free? Why would I take you on as a client? I want you to come to me. My vision is I want companies to come to me. Now, I might sound a little crazy, which I'm not. Seriously, I'm just venting here, but telling you the truth. If you want us to represent you, we're all going to work as a team. We are going to tell the truth. We're not going to overpromise. I am not going to walk into a sales company, like a sales meeting like I did prior years. I've done all that. Been there in front of 6 people and saying in my head, God, I don't want this account. Why would I want this account when you got 3 to 4 other staffing companies? Or why would I want it? But I'm forced because of corporate. I'm like, Dave, take the friggin' account. This lady could give you care less about you that's even talking to you. She's sitting here writing and like, yeah, okay, that's just another staffing company. Well, they're going to promise this. Well, they promise that too. But she has no cares whatsoever. But yet I have to try to get that sale. Knowing do you work? Knowing the team in my mind, the recruiters back at the office saying, oh, wow, what did I just do? I know corporate's going to sign off on this because, wow, 38% whoopee, 25, you're going to lose money, right? You're going to lose money. It's a high turnover. They tell you that. They can't keep people. They don't show. You think? So when you're like that, I'm like, oh, my God, it's a headache. But then we go back. We celebrate. Wow, hey. You got the job. You got that client candidate. Hey, they put that thing out, that mass email. Hey, we just picked up this. Doesn't work that way anymore. It does not work that way anymore. You can't overpromise the customer. if I would have said now what I can say, because I have my own company, versus with the corporate world, I wish you could be more honest. And people know what I mean by that. Because salespeople, there's nothing wrong with salespeople. There is nothing wrong with salespeople. Listen, you need sales or else you wouldn't have a job. Think about that. And this is for the corporations or everybody. It doesn't have to be for candidates. Think about that. If you didn't have salespeople, guess what? You wouldn't have a job because you have no sales. It's kind of like us right now on Startup when we started the business. I didn't have any sales. So I was worried about concentrating on everything else, concentrating on building an office, concentrating on, getting all the right tools. Oh, I have to have this. I have to have that. But what you didn't realize is you have to get the sales. Hey, we got Bill from Pittsburgh. Bill's in. How you doing, Bill? I got to get Bill on the show because with your company, I saw Bill. But honesty, right? Honesty is the best policy. And I would rather lose the account. I've turned down 2. All right, 2 accounts. The money was there. It was like 1.2 million. I know that sounds a lot. 1.2 million accounts sounds like a lot. 30 people, right? But I believe Bill knows math. When you do a 30 people at a 38% markup and you make a 1.2 million for the account, you take all your burden and take all your workers' comp. Let me tell you, you're going to be lucky, 10,000 for the year. That's it. I don't care what anybody says. That is the honest truth because I will do the math right on here. I'll do the math just like today. I'll show you right there. So when companies come to us, 38%, are you friggin' kidding me? Reverse the roles. Remember what I said. Reverse the roles now. Would you work for free? And you're not going to say, if you sit there and say, salesmen are the best, correct. And the reason Bill's saying that is because I love sales, Bill. I think I get a thrill for sales, especially now. Bill, I'm going to give you, I told on Steve's show, I made up some fake resumes for myself, right? I applied at companies. They messaged me back to recruiters from the company direct. I got their emails now. That's priceless. I listened to somebody that's been in the business for 25, 30 years. And he says that was one of the biggest things to do, make fake resumes. Now, some corporations can't do that, but hey, I'm not telling you not to do it because it works. You got the email, and then Bill, yourself that everybody's email is normally the same within a company. So then what I did is I can go on LinkedIn, and then I can look at their name and say, bill.bradford@pepsicola.com. That's what it is, so easy. But sales, you have to have a passion for what you're selling. Now, Jane, me and everybody on here, I have a passion for recruiting. I love what I do. I have a passion for it. I know what I'm talking about. And I want to walk into that room and I'm going to stand up there and I'm going to tell them the truth. Because I believe, just like that young lady when I went in there to that company, that 1.2, that didn't give me the time of day, just sitting there just, even on the laptop, you're not even paying attention. Always do that. Not even paying attention to me. I would like to say to her now, they're still looking for the same amount of people and she's miserable. I'm not just saying he or she, but she is miserable. Everybody doesn't like her, but yet you try to get the account. So in sales, you need to suck it up sometimes because in the corporate, let's get that account. And that's the truth. That's the truth, how it is in my perspective, respectively, saying it like that, because this is 2021, and with sales, you're going to have to trust your salesperson. Years ago, you had that salesperson. It's like a car salesman. Like we have Jack down at Koch 33, right? Koch 33. Jack, me and my wife have been with for Ford or Toyota for 13 years. When we need a vehicle, we do not even question. Jack's 72. And the reason I smile, because he's the greatest salesperson in the world. We don't even, Jack, I want that vehicle. And he'd be like, Dave, you want to test ride it? No, if you're saying it's good, I saw the picture. I'd show up, right? He'd be like, you're not going to drive it? No, he knows that. Everybody would laugh. But I trusted him. He did not in sales. He would tell you, don't. He said, that was bull. He said, they send that stuff all the time out to me, but that man has gotten us 6 vehicles for leasing. So that is about trust and working with salespeople. And if you have the product and if you have the vision and the passion, you can sell that product versus, you get into some people in sales, you can tell they don't really like it. They don't like it. They'll go out and they won't even stop at the companies. They're going to send back, well, I stopped here. Well, I emailed this person. You didn't. Some people in sales just don't have that passion. And they're the ones that need to be trained. Maybe they're not trained right off the bat in sales. Maybe they don't know because they haven't had a mentor. Maybe if Bill was a person in sales, he owns that company, which he does, and he reaches down, he sees somebody struggling. Why aren't you getting sales? What's going on? What do you have? What kind of problems do you have? Tell me. And then it's the leader's job. It's Bill's job to sit down with his employee and say, listen, let's try it this way. Let's do this. See what happens. I know you're struggling, but let me help you. You're going to see a difference in that person right off the bat. You're either going to see a relief. That person will be like, wow, he cares. Or you're going to walk out of there like, oh, wow, I still don't want to be here. Maybe it's not for you, sales. So on that note, Kara, here we go. Here we go. Without honesty, you can build trust. And I like this one. Wait a minute here. Kara, you're pretty sharp. Without honesty, you can build trust. Without honesty, you can build and without trust, you can't build a solid relationship with a potential customer. Strong relations equal long-lasting clients who come to and refer to you. Under promise, over deliver. Kara, I'm going to have to read that one 10 times over. The first thing is without honesty, you can build trust. All right. And without, you can't build. Okay. You can. Okay. You're right. Okay. That's why I went back to you can't build trust. You're right. And then without trust, you can't build a solid relationship. That says it right there. And the under promise and over deliver, that's where it's either the sales, the culture of the company, the salesperson, everyone has to read something like that to build relationships. Because listen, I've never met Bill. Bill, we have 2 ears, 1 mouth. There. See? Bill, it took me a while to learn that. Everybody in sales, or even when I go now to clients, I don't say much at all. I'm like, okay. I just let it come in. And I actually smile again because it relates. I listen now more. And then they tell you everything, their problems. They tell you everything. All you have to do is come back with a solution that will work, a solution that you can help, a solution that you can show value to. Now, listen, maybe I'm too honest about pricing, but I believe in putting that right at the end. I believe putting that pricing up. Listen, if you're not going to pay that, then we just don't do business. Because if I underdeliver, right? If I don't deliver what you're paying for, then you don't utilize our service. Simple. You negotiate that. You don't have to hire on a company and keep him. If Bill doesn't want to hire, if he hires me and I don't perform for him, he gets out the door. He says goodbye. And that's how it is. That's reality. If you don't perform in sales, you're out. But yet when it comes back to, oh, this is great, under promise, over deliver, that's where part of this where you got to think about. Because I don't want to over and then over deliver. Like over deliver to me would be great, man. I'd be like, hey, as long as they're as long as I fill them and I have 10 extra people, or I find you 10 good qualified candidates, boy, that word, Kara, yourself, that word is gonna be like, wow, that Kara can find some candidates, right? Because if it comes back to the recruiter and sales, are they trained properly? Like as a recruiter, it's not just, a recruiter is not just, let me make a call here. Oh, okay. Anybody can do an interview. But you really need to ask some serious questions. And now I get it. It's taken a lot of years to learn how to interview people. And like Bill says, if you just listen in an interview, that's what I mean. If you just listen in an interview, you're going to pick up a lot. You're going to let them talk, right? In a good way. But don't take it like right away. Like today, for example, real quick, and I'm going to get going here, is transportation. Or we talked about that before, Janie, like must have transportation. You don't know what that person's going through. Why is it my problem to ask you? It has nothing to do with the job. I don't know that your circumstances at home, maybe you don't have a car. I don't know. Maybe you commute and take a bus, right? You commute. So why? That's the bias. That's where I've learned. I've stopped. I've just stopped because it's none of my business. I'm looking at the person for the job. If they don't come to work, if they can't get there, they don't perform. Yes, you coach them, you warn them, verbal and written, and at the end, give the candidate a chance or an employee a chance. Don't bring on a new employee, and if you just toss them into the realm without training, you're setting that person up for failure. And I admit it. I do. I've done that before. I haven't trained that person as well as I should have. And that's just being honest. You know, I look back now and say, wow, man, I should have took 2 weeks and just put that person, your sacrifice, take the 2 weeks, train the person really well. On the job training is great. Don't get me wrong. That's if you've been in the business. If you're a recruiter going into another recruiting business, you know, you could walk into an office and you could just go like that, start. Hey, what's their policy? What's this? Hey, what's this for hiring process? Okay, what do you use? Boom. But if you don't teach them your culture, if you don't teach them what you believe in, then that's on you. So, and like Steve has, or do I have a partner? We talked about Janie last night. I still don't understand that, Janie. I don't think I ever will. And Kara, you reach out, or Bill, she was asked if she had a partner in an interview. Go figure that. And Steve says, honesty is the best policy. So on that note, everybody, it's been 42 minutes. I want to thank. And this is what it's all about. Just, you know, on LinkedIn, reach out to a Bill, reach out to a Kara, reach out to a Steve, reach out to a Janie, reach out to Tuvia, everybody here that's been on here, you know, even Brooke. If you want to build a relationship with the person here, I have learned so much from some people on LinkedIn that I never would have thought before because of COVID. LinkedIn is just full of so many experts. Let me tell you, we're handling today of an EORs in North Carolina. Dan, North Carolina. Would I have ever used an EOR in North Carolina? And I'm in Wrigglesville, Pennsylvania. But if it wasn't for LinkedIn, I wouldn't have that. You know, tomorrow I have an EO and a meeting with a guy from LinkedIn. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm interested, because he didn't bug me. He didn't, soon as he friended, connected, it wasn't like right away. You know, a couple weeks later, he reached out, and it just happened to be the right time today. And I set up a meeting with him. I got to reach out to him tomorrow and say, okay, set up a time to talk. But it was just perfect timing. And in sales, even with staffing companies, you get them on, let me tell you, on peak season, that's when you want to try to get in there, because they're stressed out. They'll say yes to anyone. So on that note, everybody, I really appreciate it. And we'll be back tomorrow night. See you soon.